Mondays are new. Oh, Yorkshire geek got stories for you. Favorite tricks beyond town's grass. Popcorn adventures on tap. Magnificent Mondays with fire in our veins. Cinematic journeys, memories and chains. Geeky passion flowing pure and strong. In this world we all belong. Movies that war and stories that fight. From battles in space to tears in the eye. Epic tales, TOYG knows best. Drop the couch, join the quest. Magnificent Mondays with fire in our veins. Cinematic journeys, memories and chains. Geeky passion flowing pure and strong. In this world we all belong. Movies that war and stories that fly. From battles in space to tears in the eye. Epic tales, TOYG knows best. Drop the couch, join the quest. Magnificent Mondays with fire in our veins. Cinematic journeys, memories and chains. Geeky passion flowing pure and strong. In this world we all belong. Lights dim, low screens aglow. TOYG takes us where dreams flow. Action heroes, villains, dark night. Every scene, heart still light. Geek myths, giants rise and fall. Time machines, epic brawls. Mondays in blue, with geeks light. Fantasy realms to infinite heights.
Hey up, it's Steve, Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to episode 78 of Magnificent Mondays. This week we're looking at Pirates, as you may have guessed from the intro, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, the second of the Pirates of the Caribbean films. And the one that I think is still the highest grossing one. I think it was the third film ever to gross over $1 billion at the box office. So huzzah for that. Anyway, before we start, don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. We're live on YouTube. Let me double check. Yes, we're live on YouTube. Oh, come on, show it. Why is it not showing? Oh, there it is. TOYGing out, he says. Why didn't it show it when I clicked on it? Never mind. I think StreamYards is having issues recently, but anyway. Anywho, right, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. Let's have a talk about it before we get into it. Directed by Gore Verbinski. Obviously, he did the first one and the third one. Also known for other films. He did. I forgot the name of it now. The Ring filmed Into the Ring, the American remake of Ring. He's done loads of other stuff as well. Written by Ted Elliott and Terry Rossio. Produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. Stars obviously Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom, Keira Knightley, Stellan Skarsgård, Bill Nighy, Jack Davenport, Kevin R. McNally, Jonathan Pryce, and many, many more. I'm blanking. What do they call him? Mackenzie Crook. That's the one. Mackenzie Crook, Lee Arenberg, Tom Hollander, Naomi Harris, and many more. And a surprise at the end, which I won't spoil. But there'll be spoilers in this anyway, because we're not watching it. Had a budget of $225 million. This is back in 2006. I went online, did a calculator thing. And if it were made today, $225 million, it'd be $354,543,000 today. So it'd be an expensive film. It was an expensive film then, but it'd be even more so now. I think I froze for like, oh yeah, that's probably why. It must be me that froze then or something. But I'm back now. Yeah, I clicked on your message and it didn't show it for some reason, so I'm guessing it was me or StreamYard. I think StreamYard is having issues recently. Anyway, like I said, it grossed over $1 billion. The scores by Hans Zimmer. I can't remember who did it in the first film, but it wasn't Hans Zimmer, it was some other fella. But it's a great score. What else? Any other info? No, that'll do for now. I do have a little few notes, not a lot. I watched the behind the scenes that's on the Blu-ray. I don't know if there's a commentary. There's a commentary on the DVD, but I don't know if they've ported that over to the Blu-ray. I couldn't find it in the menus, so unless it's hidden away as an Easter egg, I don't know. Right, so let's get back on with it, shall we? We're not going to watch the film, obviously. We're going to go through it in a series of stills, may play the odd snippet. If I just played it, YouTube would just take my channel down instantly. But so we're going to do that. I'll try and remember what I've learned about it and all that stuff. Right, so anything else? Oh no, I forgot to mention, didn't I? Explore the description for various links for stuff like my social medias, my books. I haven't plugged my books for a couple of weeks, have I? My books: Silent Predator, short horror novella about genetically engineered big cats prowling a North Yorkshire village, and Mercury Rapids, a light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and alien abductions and all that stuff. It's all good fun. They're available on Amazon, Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl, if you don't mind. What else? Also, links in the description for merch. I went like that, but this isn't one of my merch ones. This is a USS Cerritos t-shirt, but I've done one similar. Merch, my websites, send me books. What else? I don't know. Give us a super chat and super thanks, stuff like that, etc. Right, get on with it. Let's get on with it. So do that. Pop myself down in the corner. Is it that one? Yeah. And off we go. Let me full screen this baby. And add it to the stage. There we go. Right, are we off? Are we off? Going to start. There it is. By the way, this is the first, straight up with the trivia, this is the first time this new CG animated Disney logo appeared in the movies. So there we go. Is it in the next one? Is it in at World's End where they change it to a pirate flag? I thought they did it in this one, but they don't. Look, it just stays as a regular one. Is it at World's End where they change it? They're doing one of them, don't they? Change it to a pirate flag, which is amusing. Right, so off we go. Right, we begin with the cool opening credits. Pirates of the not credits, title. Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead Man's Chest. Yo ho ho, and the bottle of rum and all that jazz. Right, it's chucking it down in the Caribbean. What the hell is a Carib bean? Is there such a thing? And what are they used for? I don't know. Why did they name a sea after them? I should have looked this up, shouldn't I? But anyway, never mind. So it's raining. This is supposed to be the wedding of, there we go, Elizabeth Swann, the lovely Keira Knightley, Elizabeth Swann, and Will Turner, Orlando Bloom. But he's been arrested. Here we see British soldiers, presumably Marines, I don't know, arriving on the island of, this is Port Royal, I'm guessing. So they've come to there they are. They've got Will Turner in chains. So there we go. Supposed to be getting married, but he's been arrested. And here we go. This is where we meet a new character, Cutler Beckett. I wondered if he were from the ride. I looked it up. I don't know a huge amount about the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland, but it was made up for the film because it's like presumed when he starts that he's got this backstory, and he does have this backstory that probably they go into the novelizations maybe about it. But if you go into the Pirates of the Caribbean wiki, it tells you all this backstory. He used to know Jack Sparrow apparently before Jack Sparrow became a pirate and stuff like that. But anyway, so here we go. There we go. So it's Cutler Beckett. He's Lord Cutler Beckett, and he's now the chairman of the East India Company, which was basically like a military trading arm of the British Empire back in the day. Anyway, so this is where we learn that Will Turner, they've got a warrant out for Will Turner's arrest for helping Jack Sparrow escape in the last film. At the end of the last film, there's also a warrant out for Elizabeth Swann for also aiding in the absconsion, whatever. Of said pirate. There we go. The warrant for the arrest of one William Turner. By the way, that's David Schofield. May know him from American Wolf in London. He's the "You Made Me Miss" fella. But he's been in loads of other stuff as well. So there we go. They've got another one for Elizabeth Swann as well. So obviously the governor's not happy, so they're clapping her in irons as well. And there's also asks about the location of former Commodore James Norrington. I keep wanting to say Stephen Norrington. He's the director, isn't he? James Norrington. Is it James Norrington? But we learned that he resigned his commission and is now off being a drunk somewhere. But anyway. So this is where he's telling him what they're charged with. They're condemned to death. But obviously he's got a plan. Is Cutler Beckett, because he's a devious man. Anyway, right, cut to the Black Pearl. Somebody's singing 15 men on a dead man's chest. And obviously it's Mr. Gibbs swilling his rum. And anyways, we follow these birds over to this. I've no idea. There's some sort of prison island, whatever. I don't know. But this scene is really brutal. What certificate is it? What certificate is it in the UK? It's only a 12 certificate, but it's quite gruesome in places. By the way, the body count in this film, loads of people die in this film. I think it's 82. I've got it written in my notes. Yes, 82 people die in this film. It's like a bloody Commando or something like that. Some Arnold Schwarzenegger film. Anyway, all these people have been taken into this prison, and this poor fella's being dragged. Look, it makes me cringe because he's like his bare feet are scraping across all these rough stones, and I'm thinking, ah! It doesn't make me cringe stuff like that. Also, when I see people fall, and they're like unprotected, and they fall onto like stone and concrete and stuff, that makes me cringe as well because I'm a big softy. Anyway, on the behind the scenes, it showed them casting this fella who's being dragged away. He was just sitting in a chair. I think it's him. I don't know. They were casting for this role of him being dragged away, and so they're just having people, skinny people, sitting in a chair going and all that. But I don't know if the one that we see in the behind the scenes is that fella. I don't know. But anyway, brace yourself. You're going to see a fella get his eye plucked out by crows now in a minute. Here we go. Oh no, I missed it. There we go. Here it goes. Hang on. There we go. It's going to show it. There we go. Kids film, Disney. Unbelievable. Anyway, then they're chucking bodies into the sea in coffins. Why don't they just chuck the bodies in? Why are they chucking them in coffins? I don't know. Christian burial at sea, maybe, I don't know. But anyway, they're chucking coffins into the sea. And a crow lands on one, starts pecking at the on the coffin. Is this a CG crow? Probably. I don't know. But it doesn't last long because it gets shot, the poor thing. And I thought that was its head there. I thought its head landed on the coffin, but I think it's just a splinter of wood, I think, of the coffin. But anyway, so Jack Sparrow's in there, not treating the dead with dignity, because he just pulls some fella's leg out of this coffin. He's got his hat there. Pulls this fella's leg out of this coffin and uses it as a paddle. Just, not showing respect, is it? Anyway, so it rows over to the Black Pearl, which is anchored offshore, and he's got what he went for. So apparently, in that prison or whatever the hell it is, does it have? I don't know. Let's have a look. Does it tell us in the plot? Where's the hell's the plot? Does it tell us? No, it doesn't say. No, it doesn't say this prison where he gets what he were looking for. I have no idea where it is or what it's called. Anyway, so he got what he went for, although complications arose, but he overcame then, and it gone for I've no idea why. For some cloth with a drawing of a key on it. The crew's not happy with him because they haven't been doing much pirating lately. But he shows them. Oh, by the way, they've still got the monkey. By the way, here it is. There's Jack, the undead monkey. Remember, it's still undead because it stole one of the Spanish doubloons, the cursed doubloons in the first film. So it's still got one of them. So it's still undead. And apparently that island, Isla de Muertes, sunk into the sea and taken the treasure with it. A bit like Skull Island in King Kong, I suppose. But so that's gone. So they've got rid of that aspect. But the monkey's still undead. And he likes shooting it because he can't kill it because it's already dead. He just likes shooting it as stress relief. It's run off, look, with the thing that Jack got. Then he shoots it again. But anyway, so he sees a piece of cloth. He goes, "It's a key." He goes, "No, it's much more better. It's a drawing of a key." So they've got to find they've got to find the key and then find out what the key unlocks. But why has he got? It's just a drawing of a key. Maybe so he knows what it looks like. Maybe I don't know. But is he going to show it? Show us the drawing of the key. There it is. Is it just so he knows what it looks like? So he knows what he's looking for? I'm guessing so, because there's no other information on. But sorry, I've got a tickly nose. Means I'm going to have an argument, so don't start with me. Anyway, so they've got to find that the key and then find what the key unlocks, which turns out is a chest with something in. He's got his compass that we learn in. I think we learn in this film that it points towards whatever you want the most in the world, whatever's your heart's desire. But it's malfunctioning because he's a bit confused, is Jack, about what he really wants. But anyway, so off they go. Meanwhile, back in Port Royal, I imagine, Cutler Beckett has an offer for Will. Is it? No, it's in a minute. Yeah, an offer for him. Said he's got some a pardon signed by the King, George I. Pardon. If he'll go and get a chest, go and find Jack Sparrow and get a chest, because Cutler Beckett must know that Jack Sparrow's looking for this chest, and he wants him to go and find it himself. This map's not very accurate, is it? I know it's the early 1700s, but the Aral Sea is not that big, is it? Oh, no, it's the Caspian Sea, that, isn't it? That's the Black Sea. Caspian should be a bit more that way around, shouldn't it? Never mind. And there's no Aral Sea. Or maybe they were joined together back in the day. The Aral Sea is more or less dried up now, isn't it? But anyway, I digress. Right, so anyway, so that's what he's going to do. So Will's going to go off and find Jack Sparrow, Captain Jack Sparrow, and get the chest. Or he's going to offer Jack Sparrow amnesty if he gets that. He's making an offer to Jack Sparrow. That's what he's showing him there. We go, a full pardon. Anyway, they go out here now, and they see the clock here. It's very reminiscent of the clock in Back to the Future, isn't it? It's even at the time the Back to the Future clock stopped at 10. Is it 10:08 or something like that? Why is that there? I've no idea. What has this film got to do with Back to the Future? It's a totally different studio and everything, isn't it? But maybe Gore Verbinski's a Back to the Future fan. Who knows? But it's there, isn't it? Anyway. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to go off now, and he's doing it for he says, if I do this, let Elizabeth go as well. But obviously he's duplicitous. Is Cutler Beckett. Here's Jack plotting his course, but his compass that's not working properly. He's run out of rum. Why is the rum always gone? And we see that he's drunk, so he's going to go below decks and get some rum. But this is where he meets Bootstrap Bill. There we go. Time's running out, Jack. This is Stellan Skarsgård as Bootstrap Bill. Which, as we see, is looking a bit crusty. This is obviously Will Turner's dad. There we go. And he's one of Davy Jones's crew. And in this film, of Davy Jones's crew, is the only one who doesn't have CG on his face. He's the only one that they made up. It took him 3 hours to make him up. And as the film goes on, he gets more and more, crustier, or crustacean-y, or whatever. But anyway, so he's here to tell Jack that his time's up. Because apparently, 13 years earlier, he made a deal with Davy Jones to be the captain of the Black Pearl, and now the time is up. So he owes Davy Jones his soul. And he tries to talk his way out of it, saying, well, technically I was only captain for 2 of those years, because Barbossa, and his crew mutinied, didn't they, and booted him off the ship. But he said, whatever. Stop trying to talk your way out of it. Anyways, this is what he's telling him. This is what he's telling him, that his time's up, and he's going to get the black spot to show that Davy Jones is after him. So there we go. Oh, and the Flying Dutchman is Davy Jones's ship. And they wanted, I think Gore Verbinski wanted Davy Jones to be Dutch, a Dutch character. But Bill Nye says, I can't do Dutch. It'll have to be Scottish, so he gives him a Scottish accent. And then we talk about Jones's terrible Leviathan will find you, the Kraken. For some reason, they think it's pronounced Kraken, but it's not, is it? But they have a whole conversation in the film, because nobody knew how to pronounce it properly. Some said Kraken, some said Kraken. But then Mackenzie Crook has the line later on that in the Scandinavian, because it's a Scandinavian beast, isn't it? It's pronounced Kroken, so Kraken's closer. But anyway, whatever. Who cares? So that'll come for him if he doesn't go and back to Davy Jones. Here we see he's got the black spot, which is from... Is that from Treasure Island? I think it's from Treasure Island, isn't it, the black spot? I think it is. It's a long time since I've read Treasure Island. I remember reading it at school when I was a kid. It was a long time. Anywho, right, so he gets scared now. He wakes everybody up, and he says, we've got to head for land, because obviously the Kraken is a deep-sea creature. So he tells them all to head to land. Oh, he loses his hat. The monkey, Jack the monkey, rips off Jack's hat and throws it into the sea. And says, bring us about, because obviously he can't lose Jack's hat. And he says, no, leave it. So obviously, no, something's up. Jack never loses his hat, but he does. Winger says, Treasure Planet, no, Treasure Island. Oh, the Treasure Planet is a decent film. It's a decent sci-fi adaptation, isn't it, of Treasure Island. Anywho, so there's his hat floating away, and Dawn breaks. Another ship appears. This fella fishes it out. Apparently they're speaking Greek Cypriot, apparently. We don't get subtitles. And I can't remember if we got subtitles on this. I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, they found Jack's hat and they start arguing about it. It seems they're the only two crew on this ship, it seems. But something's coming, look. What's that? And they're all worried about what's happening. And suddenly, here it goes. The ship just is pulled under the sea. Here it goes. In a minute, there it goes. Cool effects, by the way, in this film. Every penny of it's $225 million is on the screen, in it. There's lots of CGI ships and a few actual ships in this. Right, so Will's going to talk to Elizabeth. Going to tell her, telling her what he's got to do. Oh, well, that's what he wanted. Jack's compass. That's what she's telling him. He's got to, deal with Jack, get his compass, and all that. So that's what he wants. Anyway, so off Will goes to do that. But Governor Swan has other plans in a bit. But Will's off asking about Jack. If anybody's seen Jack Sparrow, and he's sighted everywhere. It's like Elvis, he's sighted all over into Singapore and all these other places. She slaps him. Remember, she slapped Jack in the first film. I think they both did, didn't they? So she slaps Will. Give him a message. There we go. And there's this fella talking about long pork. Cannibalism, a thing in this film for some reason. Don't know why it is, which is why it didn't get a release in China, I think. I think that's what it says. Or maybe it was cut, I don't know, but where is it? See if I can find it. It's somewhere here in the trivia. Control F. China. There we go. The film is banned in China for its depiction of cannibalism, an integral part of the movie's storyline. There you go. Well, I won't say it's integral, but it's part of it. Anyway, so this way he's saying that he's actually seen the ship with black sails. It's run aground. So that's where we're going to see it now. Only takes him to it. Hang on, he's going to show it. There it is. It's run aground there on this island, which turns out is Cannibal Island. So this fella takes him over and makes him swim part of the way. But then we see that here it is on the beach. It's not actually there. I think it's a model digitally inserted into the scene. Looks pretty good. I wonder why they just didn't build, a set, because it is quite a major set piece. But never mind. So there it is. There's the black. How did it get up there? I don't know. There must be a really high tide on this island. But anyway, right. So off he goes into the forest. He sees. I forgot the name now. Mr. What's his face as parrot? Can't remember. They say, "Don't eat me." He's not going to eat you, so that's a clue that there's cannibals. Anyway, so he gets captured. Here we go. There we go. Gets captured, and he ends up with the rest of the Black Pearl crew. There we see the island, but we learn. Oh, I know. They take him into the village first. It's like reminiscent of the Ewok village. And we see that Jack is. Hang on, look, he's got. He thinks he's Jeff Hardy from the wrestling, with his eyes painted on. But anyway, we see that he's kind of the chief of the tribe, but not really, because they think he's a living god. This tribe, but they're going to free him. We learn from his fleshy prison. Basically, going to eat him. They're going to eat him so he can become a god in the sky or whatever. But Jack's kind of playing along, and he does go up to him and says, "Save me!" Whispers to him. Anyway. So we have some, amusing lines from Johnny Depp. But they're telling him, "The compass, that's all I need." And he says, "Save me." So, anyway, so they take Will away. Right, so now I think it's a Governor Swan. He's whisking his daughter away. He wants to send her to England to get her out of the clutches of Cutler Beckett. So he sends her off to the heads out to the docks, and then he finds they've got a captain of a ship that's going to take her to England. But David Schofield, I can't remember the name of his character. Hang on, let me check. David Schofield, where are you? Where are you? Mercer. Oh, aye, Mr. Mercer. He's already killed the captain. There we go. Of course, he's a murderer. There you go. Oh, I found a letter to the king, and it's got your name on it. Then talking like that. There you go, it's from you. So that's not happening. So they're kind of under arrest again. But Elizabeth had disappeared. She checked in the carriage, but she wasn't there. She'd gone to see Cutler Beckett herself, and so she's doing a deal with him. Everybody's doing their own deals, aren't they? Looks like she's stabbing him in the eye there, doesn't it? But I think she's pointing a musket at him or whatever the hell it is. So she makes her own deal. She takes, there we go, the letters of marque, the pardons. She takes those. So she's going to go and find Will now. So Will's looking for Jack. He's found him, but now she's going to look for Will. Anyway. And she's going to pretend to be a boy, a cabin boy. The most girly girl-looking girl ever, isn't she? But whatever. So, anyway, off she goes. Oh, there he's putting his seal on the things. I think all they need is just the name, the pardonee's name putting on. So if I were her, I'd have already written them on, but she hasn't done. Anyway, in a boat. We're in a boat now with, I can't remember the name. It's Mackenzie Crook and Lee Arenberg, and I can't remember the name of their characters. Where are we? Pintel and Ragetti. There we go. He's reading the Bible, but it's upside down, as you can see. So so you can't read. But he's saying you get points for trying. Anyway, and apparently they were in prison. Maybe they got captured at the end of the first one. I honestly can't remember. They were dressed up as women, weren't they? Maybe they got captured. But anywho, maybe they all did. I can't remember. I can't remember at the end of, because Barbosa were killed, weren't they? And were all the rest of them? They were captured, weren't they, by the Marines, weren't they? Anyway, they've got there's the dog that's always got the keys, and that's what must have been how they got out of prison and escaped in a rowing boat. But they find Cannibal Island. There we go. The dog jumps out. They end up in the foamy, but they've got to try and get the Black Pearl back in the water. And he says it'll be high tide soon. That'll be really high tide, won't it? But anyway, so that's what they're going to plan on doing. So that's what they're doing. Then we cut to the tribe having some sort of song and dance, getting Jack ready. They give him a necklace made out of massive toes. Who the hell's toe is that? The size of it. So Jack bites the nail. But oh dear. And then we see that they've imprisoned the Black Pearl crew in these weird cages dangling in a ravine. And apparently the cages are made out of the Black Pearl crew. Because Will says, what's happened to the rest of the crew? And Mr. Gibbs says, these cages weren't made when we arrived. So it's the bones of some of the crew that they're caged in. Anyway. So they've got to find a way to escape these cages, which they do by, rocking them backwards and forwards, and which we're going to see in a minute. Jack's going to run off now, because they're getting ready to cook him. There we go, goes running off. Oh dear. I went to see this at the cinema, and I had a huge smile on my face all the way through the film. I love this film, it's dead good. A lot of people don't like it, but I think it's great. So he goes running off. This is what he's going to try and do he's going to try and do a pole vault thing with a huge is it bamboo? Looks like bamboo. Huge bamboo pole. He finds some treasure. I presume this is from other shipwrecks that the tribe have eaten. But anyway, I don't know what's that. I saw something in the background then. Where was it? Oh, sorry. Oh, it's just a skull. I just wonder what it was. I thought it was a mask. I thought it was an Easter egg. Oh, and he finds some spices, because spices were, you know, super valuable back then, weren't they? But anyway, he finds that with paprika. And he sees the logo East India Company, which apparently that's fictitious. There were an East India Company, but I think the logo they made up. I don't know what the logo of the East India Company actually was, but they made this up for the film. Apparently. Anyway, so there you go. They're well waiting for him. So I think they've tied him up now. They've tied him to a pole. They're swinging. Look, whee! They're going to try and get out. So they're going to start cooking Jack. There you go. They've made it to the wall, and now they've got to try and scramble up the wall. And somebody sees them. This fella. There you go. He's just walking across the bridge. It must be an imperial bridge from Star Wars because there's no handrails. Anyway, the others, they start climbing, and I think he sees them. Oh, there's a snake. Look, he sees a snake. And something happens. They all fall. That's it. Ah! So they're dead. Then he sees what's going on. So they've got to start climbing now. Meanwhile, they're going to start cooking Jack. They've got him on a spit. They're just about to set light to him, but they all go running off. This fella comes running in. They're escaping, but he says it in their own language. The prisoners are escaping, so they all go running after that, and he drops the torch, but it sets fire to the. There we go. Sets fire to the pyre. I don't know, whatever it's called. Right, so they've got it to the top of the cliff. He manages to bounce himself off somehow. Off the spit, he bounces off. But he's still got the pole stuck through him, so he goes running off. They're rolling away with great music from Hans Zimmer. Let's have a listen. Just on the bit where there's there's music, but it's just like not the amazing parts of the Caribbean theme. Never mind. Typical. Anyway, so it's really tough. Is this cage that they're in? It's really strong. But then suddenly, when it lands in water, it all breaks for some reason. But anyway, so they start running. They put the legs through the cage and start running with it. Jack's running about with that bamboo pole up him. He's trying to cut himself free. Then these see him and they start throwing fruit at him. So it's all amusing. Here they go. They're going to start throwing fruit. Oh, that's it. Right, I know this bit here. Right, so they fall down another cliff. Here we go. And then it all breaks in the water, so they can escape now. But they're getting bows and arrows fired at them. Not bows, but arrows fired at them. There they are, look. Right, so they're throwing fruit at him now, and it's all skewering they're turning him into a kebab, aren't they? Basically, that's what they're doing. There you go, like that. Hilarious. And now he's going to do his pole vault now. Here he goes. You ready? Come on, do it. Hang on. Have I missed it? Yes, it's that one there. His pole vault. It's dead stupid, isn't it? It's suspension of disbelief. It's based on a theme park ride. It's not black sails. People aren't getting their heads cut off with tiny little knives in this and effing and blinding it everywhere. It's Pirates of the Caribbean. But it makes me want to play Assassin's Creed Black Flag again. Anyway. So, and he falls. He lands on the other side, but then falls. And then, unravels like that, and then falls again. There you go, falls again. And starts falling through loads of these. What they call these bridges. Falls through loads of these bridges. Stopping, breaking his fall, so he's fine when he hits the bottom. Slowed him down enough, and he's fine. Right, they're all running to the ship. Monkey Jack's nicked his. Because remember, he's got a wooden eye that somehow moves about. I don't. But anyway, never mind. Like they all arrive at the ship, and he goes, "Oh, look, excellent! Our work's half done." And he goes, "We done it for you." That's how he says it. I love his voice in this. Let's have a listen.
We've done it for you.
We done it for you. And Justin 34's here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Justin 34. Welcome to the show. Hang on, I haven't done this for a while, have I? I'm doing it again. Wherever put it down here somewhere.
Welcome to my show.
Been a while. Anyway, right. So they get the Black Pearl back into the sea. Here comes Jax being chased by the cannibals. The dog's there as well. There it is. And they get away. But then the dog barks at them, so they start chasing the dog, and we don't see the dog again till the end of the film. Right, so off they go. Right, they've got to go now. I think he tells them they've got to go upriver, so they're going to go and see Naomi Harris in a minute. So off they go. So Jack's telling Will that they've got to find the key, to find the chest, blah blah blah. Right, well, I think we're back at is this Port Royal or Tortuga now? I can't remember. They're at some port. Oh, why? There's with this ship that's an honest trading vessel. I don't know if it's got a name or if the captain even's got a name. I have no idea. Let's have a look. See if it says. No, I don't say. Never mind. Anyway, one of the deckhands finds a dress, so they think there's a ghost of a woman on the ship or something. They go, the ship is haunted. There's a female presence amongst us here, sir. So anyway, but as we can see, it's actually Elizabeth pretending to be a boy or man or whatever. Nothing like, does she? But anyway, whatever. The most girly girl ever. Anyway, so off they go, and the captain wants nothing to do with it. It's all nonsense. So anyway, they're off. I think they suggest going to Tortuga, but the captain doesn't want to because that's where pirates are. Right. So anyway, they're heading upriver. They're going to see. I forgot her name. I don't know, Naomi Harris. I forgot her character's name. Tia Dalma, that's it. They're going to go and see Tia Dalma. Or Dam, however you pronounce it. They're talking about the Kraken. That's, Davy Jones's monster that goes after the people that don't go and join his crew. Anyway, so here she is, Tia Dalma. So they've got to do a deal with her now to find out what the key, where the chest is, what the key unlocks, or where the key is for the chest. So there she is, the lovely Naomi Harris, who plays Moneypenny in the Eve Moneypenny in the Daniel Craig James Bond films. And apparently she were in Miami Vice as well. So there we go. They were filming Miami Vice and this at the same time. I've only seen that once. Anyway. So, to do a deal with her. There we go. The payment is undead monkey. Oh, look. Undead monkey. Top that. So he says the payment is fair. So he shows what she's looking for. There we see a familiar hat, which is, foreshadowing for the end of the film. Excuse me. So she's going to tell him, basically what's going on, and tell him all about Davy Jones because he's got the key, and I think she's going to show him that he's got the black spot as well. By the way, but she's telling him all about Davy Jones, how he became, this monster, because he fell in love with a woman. Spoilers, turns out it's her. She's like a sea goddess or something called Calypso. That's in the third film. We'll get to that one eventually. But he gave her up to go to sea and become basically an undead thing. Is that the sea's version of the Angel of Death, isn't it? Lost souls go to his ships or whatever. That's what his job is. Anyway, and we learned that he's cut out his heart and put it in the still beating heart and put it in this chest. And that's got to stay on land or something. And Davy Jones has to stay at sea. He can only set foot on land once every 10 years. Right, so that's what we're learning. Anyway, so they've got to find Davy Jones to get the key. There we go, showing the black spot. But she makes it disappear because she's magical or something. But anyway. Oh, and she gives him a jar of dirt. Says, "Here, take this." And he says, "Is it important?" And she says, "Give it back if you don't want it." He says, "No." He says, "Then it's important." Which it is, and very amusing. Anyway, then it helps. Yes, that's it. So they've got to find the Flying Dutchman. And she says, "This is how you're going to find it." She uses these crab claws. There we go. Scatters them out, and they form the same pattern as these islands. So they must have recognised that pattern or something. I don't know, but they've gone to these islands. They found a shipwreck. Jack's telling them that it's the Flying Dutchman, but it's not. This is all essentially Jack's just using Will as it's like a ruse. Is going to send him into danger. So Will's going to row over to the Flying Dutchman, get the key, come back, but obviously that's not going to happen because it's not the Flying Dutchman, it's a wreck that's about to be a victim of the Flying Dutchman. So off he goes. There you go. So rows over to the ship, finds the crew. They're all terrified, but then we're going to see the crew of the Flying. Here comes the Flying Dutchman. Flying Dutchman, and it's a Flying Scotsman then. But that's a train. There's the Flying Dutchman. Based on a real ship. Based on the Valor, which was a Swedish ship. The Flying Dutchman is based on the 17th century designs of Dutch and Swedish warships, particularly the Vasa, not Valor, the Vasa, a Swedish vessel that sank at Stockholm Harbour on her maiden voyage in 1628. Refloated and salvaged in 1961, she became a museum ship and provided inspiration for the filmmakers. And here's a picture of it, if I can find the bug. There it is. That's the Vasa. So you can see that it's the front of the Flying Dutchman that they've done here is shaped like that, but with more jaggedy bits. So there we go. Right, where were we? So here comes the Flying Dutchman. And he sends his crew over, and they're all in various states of crustaceanification. But anyway, here they come. There we go. So there's fighting and all that stuff. He slashes somebody's guts open somewhere. It might have been. Is it him? No, I don't know. But apparently he slashes one of Davy Jones's crew's guts open. I'd never noticed it. I've just read it in the trivia, and you can see him later on, and he's sewed his guts up. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that. I don't exactly know when he does it. I'm guessing it must be in this. There we go. Yes, because all the fish fall out. Yes, so it must be him. He just runs off. Look, so he sews himself up. Anyway, he gets captured. So they're all captured. And here comes Davy Jones. That's not him. Here comes David. There he is. There's Davy Jones. The great Bill Nighy. It was filmed. He did it all motion capture. He had them blue suits with the dots on. But actually made up his eyes and his mouth because the plan was they were going to actually use his eyes and his mouth and just CG around them. But they found it was just easier for them to just CG everything. So that's what they do. But it's a cool creation is Davy Jones. Do you fear death? That's how he talks. So he gives them a choice: join his crew for 100 years, and or die basically. And one of them joins, and one of them doesn't. And they kill him. There you go. Slit his throat and throw him overboard. So anyway, so he says he'll serve. And Jack had told Will, if you see Davy Jones, tell him he's come to settle Jack Sparrow's debt, or Jack Sparrow sent him to settle his debt. So that's what he says. There we go. Jack Sparrow sent me to settle his debt. He's like, what? So obviously that's interesting. So he looks, Jack Sparrow's watching, look through a telescope, and he looks straight at him. And he's magically there because he's a occult supernatural creature. Anyway, there because he'd been captain of the Black Pearl for 13 years. That was our agreement. His says, I was actually only captain for 2 years. And but then they mutinied, and he says, then you were a poor captain, but a captain nonetheless. So he's got to go and join now Davy Jones's crew. He's that was their agreement, but he's trying to obviously get out of it. As you can see, he's a hammerhead shark, and there's all others as well. Anyway, so he tells him about Will Turner, and that she's he's in love with a woman and all that stuff, and because that affects Davy Jones because he was in love with a woman, and that's why he went to sea and all that stuff. But anyway, so he tells him. So he said, okay, we'll cut another deal. Lots of deals being made in this film. Bring me 100 souls in 3 days, and then you can go free. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to do, how they're going to do that. I thought maybe they just do pirating and just go around killing people, in ships and all that. But what they decide to do is they go to Tortuga and try and recruit 100 sailors to join the crew, which they don't. They only get 4, but never mind. There you go. The black spot disappears. So they've got to head to Tortuga. So that's what they're going to do. Now this is the back on that nice ship that Elizabeth's on with this honest captain, and it's on about all the fees that are at the proper ports, and we can't deal with it. I'm supposed to earn a living, and then they suggest to go to Tortuga because it's the East India Trading Company with all their taxes and stuff, or levies and all that jazz. So they go to, going to go, but they don't want to go to Tortuga. But then they see a ghost. The dress starts floating about. There it is. And it's Elizabeth who's suddenly amazing at puppetry. There you go. There's the dress pointing. And then we'll see she's there. Look, doing puppetry. She really? Where'd she get it all? Whatever. Anyway, so there's a fire there, and she point. They don't get the gist of what she's supposed to be pointing at. So she jumps down, and says, "Oh, what's this here?" And then says, "Oh, what's that?" in a girly girl voice. And there we see Tortuga, which apparently is in the Disney font. Walt Disney, when he wrote his name, Walt Disney, is in that font apparently. You can tell with the A, because it's that the A's got a all one thing into it. Anyway, so there we go. They're going to head to Tortuga. That's where they're going. I'm not sure if Tortuga are a real place. I don't think it was. I'm not sure. Anyway, so here they are in Tortuga. This is Jack Sparrow and Mr. Gibbs recruiting people. So they're in a tavern in Tortuga. Never sold a day in my life. But I think I should get out and see the world while I'm still young. So they sign him up. So they sign up 4 people. I suppose 5 because Norrington's there as well. Anyway, so they're just signing them up. Because they just want bodies basically just to give to Davy Jones. So, quite a dastardly thing really, isn't it? They're just going to kill men, aren't they? Just so one man, Jack Sparrow, can get away with his life. So he's a pirate, isn't he? Basically, he's not a goodie, really. I suppose he is, but I don't know. Whatever. Is he a tweener? He's like the Undertaker, isn't he? Or Stone Cold Steve Austin is a tweener. He's a goodie that does bad things. Anyway, Right, so there's Norrington, as he's a drunk now. Anyway, this is I nearly had you all off Tripoli. What are they doing in Tripoli? Tripoli's in the Middle East, isn't it? It's in the Mediterranean, isn't it? So what they're doing all the way over there? Supposed to be in the Caribbean, or is there a Tripoli in the Caribbean? I have no idea. But anyway, I'm going to look it up now while I'm at it. This thing keeps getting in the way. I'm going to type in Tripoli, Caribbean, and see if there is one. No, they're on about the Tripoli in Libya. What are they doing there? I have no idea. Anyway, never mind. Pardon me. So there's going to be a big bar fight here, so they're all kicking off, they're all fighting, but Elizabeth knocks him out. Jack and Mr. Gibbs escape, and Norrington gets thrown in with some pigs. The bar fight going on. It's all fun and games, look. But she knocks him out and said... and then he gets thrown in with the pigs, much like we saw Mr. Gibbs in the first film. He was with the pigs, wasn't he? But she says, "What has become of you, James Norrington?" And notice he's got a short hair here. I think she might have supposed to have a plait, but you can see her hair's short. Because apparently she had to wear hair extensions for this film because she'd had her hair cut short for the film Domino, which is not a bad film, loosely based on the true story. But she gets a kit off in it. But anyway, whatever. But in the film she wore hair extensions. So there we go. Right. Where are we now? Oh, right, we're on the Flying Dutchman, and he's got a big organ. Fnar fnar. He was playing his organ with his tentacles. I think he's playing Toccata. I think. Let's have a listen. I have no idea. Maybe it is. I don't know. Yeah, dilly, that. Or is it some fugue in B minor? I don't bloody know. Anyway, so while that music's playing, all the crew are doing their stuff, heave and pulling on ropes and doing, sailor stuff. There you go, pulling up a cannon and all that stuff. And we see Will's working away, and he comes across his dad. Let go, boy! And his dad's there, so they meet for the first time in I don't know how long, since he was a kid. Because his dad left to become a pirate. But anyway. He's going to get punished because they made the cannon fall and all that, so they're going to get punished. And they're going to flog Will Turner. And he says, no. I said, oh, what you sticking up for him for? Because he's my son. He says, we're still going to get flogged. I think 5 lashes. There you go, 5 lashes. 5 lashes behold. And he says, if you don't do it, the first mate will do it. And apparently he likes to flay flesh off the bone with each lash, so he's got to do it. As Bill Turner's got to flog his own son to save him. Says, the cat's out of the bag, Mr. Turner, as in the cat o' 9 tails. That's what it means, apparently. But so he does it. There we go. Anyway, so there goes. Ooh, look at that. Looks like Jesus in Passion of the Christ, doesn't it? But not as bad. But he says, it'd have been worse. I saved you basically. It'd have been worse if the bosun, that was it. The bosun had done it. But anyway, right. So he's going to have a little talk about what they've got to do on the Flying Dutchman. They have to stay for 100 years, and the longer they stay, they end up becoming part of the ship until their debt is paid, and then they presume they could just die and go to heaven or whatever. But this fella here, look, he's become part of the ship, and then he just wakes up and tells them where the key is, and that the captain's got the key. There you go. The key's hidden, but the captain's got it. Anyway, meanwhile, back in Tortuga, they're getting the Pearl ready to sail. I don't know how many crew he'd got. Maybe just them 5. Got to find another 94. But anyway. So she's going to go with them. And James Norrington as well. Right, so off they go. When they're ready. Oh my! Gives her the compass because I think she mentioned that what's his face Cutler Beckett wanted the compass, so she's got that now apparently. Because she tells him about the the pardon and all that. Anywho, he's been arrested. Look, as Governor Swan, but I don't think he's governor anymore, is he? Does he die in this one? Is it the third one? Can't remember. I think it's the third one, isn't it? Spoilers. Anyway, so he's hoping to do as he's told, so there'll be leniency for his daughter. Anyway, they're playing Liar's Dice now, which is a baffling game, but that's what he's telling him. Any of the crew can be challenged at Liar's Dice. So Will challenges Davy Jones. So out he comes. So they've got to play Liar's Dice. So they all get some dice or something, and they all shake them and cover them up, and they look at their own dice, and they've got to say how many dice are on the table or something. I don't know, but and whoever says you're a liar gets. I don't know. I don't get it. It doesn't say it. Is it in my notes? No, it isn't that. I've seen it in the notes. It explains it somewhere. Where is it? So let me find it. Control F again. Where is it? I've seen an explanation of it. Here we go. The dice game that Will Turner plays with David Jones is called Liar's Dice, a gambling game where each player has to make consecutively higher bids based on how many of each die they claim are on the table, 2, 3s, 4, 5s, etc., until a player is called a liar, in which case all the dice are shown and it's seen if the bid is correct. Normally a player only loses a die when caught in a lie, and is not out of the game until he has lost all of his dice. I have no idea what that means. But anyway, challenges Davy Jones to it, so that's what they're going to do. But then Bill Turner, he joins the game as well, and then we see that I think he's got the rag with the drawing of the key. Says, I'll play for this. So he shows him the key. But then Bill Turner comes in. They've got to play now, and Bill Turner loses. So he's got to spend an eternity. I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. Bill Turner loses to save his son again. So he's got to spend an eternity on the not just 100 years. He's got to spend eternity on the Flying Dutchman. So there we go. I don't understand the game. I have no idea. But anyway. There you go. Master Turner's feel free to go ashore the next time we make port, which obviously could be a long time, because they only do it once every 10 years. Anyway, so there we go. So I couldn't let you lose. And as you notice, he's getting more and more, corally, and looking like a coral reef. But anyway. But he's going to help his son escape now. But he's got to go and get the key now. Now he knows where the key is, and he's holding it in his tentacles. He's going to head in, and he sleeps by his organ for some reason. So he's going to use these sticks to hold up his tentacles. Apparently, well, not apparently, they did, because it's in the behind the scenes. They used actual, like made fake tentacles, so that Orlando Bloom could, see what he was doing and, hold up real tentacles to give him some weight and all that. And then they were blue, made them blue, and then they've CG tentacles over them. But anyway, so there he's getting he gets the key, and gets out and manages it, and off he goes. His dad gives him a knife as well, and he says, right, he's going to use the key, find the chest, and stab David Jones's heart and lift the curse and all that stuff. So that's what he's going to do. So anyway, he says, what you helping me for? They'll punish you. And he says, what can I do? What can you do to me now? He's there for all eternity. But anyway, then he says, I'll not abandon you. So off he goes. Right. There she's showing him the letters of marque. They're signed, but they just need the, who they're going to pardon written in. Anyway, but he doesn't seem interested. There's a bit here now where they're talking with the hair extensions in. Look, her hairs are all long now. It were all short before, but now it's long. Did he say something funny to her before? Because when we see her again in a minute, they're kind of having a bit of a row here. She's not having anything to do with, let's say, persuade me. But she walks off. And then you see her now here. She's supposed to be angry, but she looks like she's laughing. So I wonder if he said something to her, or somebody said something to her before, he said action. And they just didn't notice. It looks like she's trying to stifle in her laugh. But anyway, so they're heading out, and she's all right. She's got the compass now, and for some reason it keeps pointing to Jack. Does she want Jack? I don't think so, but anyway. He gets picked up. Will gets picked up by the goody ship. The one with that Elizabeth was on, with the dress and all that. He gets picked up by them. Because his dad had helped him off the Flying Dutchman, put him, in a boat, and these have found him. And then he sees the dress. There we go. Knows it's Elizabeth's wedding dress. And he says, did some of your crew jump ship, at your last port and all that. So he obviously knows Elizabeth's around somewhere. Anyway, they see a ship not flying any colours, and it's the Flying Dutchman. So he's saying to him there, look, you're going to watch this, because I think he must know that Will's aboard that ship. So anyway, they're summoning the Kraken. They use this. Like I said, they use this thing that it makes a big noise. Here it goes. Hang on. There it goes, like that, and that summons the Kraken for some reason. So here it's going to come now. So we get a cool scene here where we see the tentacles of the Kraken. Remember, we didn't see it before. We just got a quick glimpse underwater when it got that other ship. But now it's going to get this ship properly, and we're going to see the tentacles and stuff. Anyway, some fellas. I think the captain gets got. Here he is. There's the captain. Whoa! Gets got. So the rest of the ship's going to get got now. But luckily, Will's the luckiest man alive. He escapes somehow. He does a bit of Douglas Fairbanks or Errol Flynn or something like that down the sail. There we go. But like I said, the Kraken's ripping the ship apart and taking the crew. There it is. Apparently, they didn't know how to animate it. The animate, the CG animators, because they didn't have a reference. Why did they have a reference? But anyway, Gore Verbinski showed them Godzilla vs. King Kong, the 1963 version, which has footage of a real octopus in it, and they use that as a reference. There's lots of footage. Why don't you go on YouTube? Lots of footage of octopuses, octopi, whatever, on YouTube. Whatever. Anyway, why didn't they use Warlords of Atlantis? There's a giant octopus in that. They could have used that, couldn't they? Anyway, so this ship gets pulled down into the wastes, the ocean wastes, and there you go. Will escapes, gets onto some flotsam, jetsam, whatever, and escapes, and he gets on board the Flying Dutchman again, but not on board. He's like hanging on the outside. They're going to get murdered. Look, he nearly sees Will. But It says, they've got they're heading out. So there's Will, look, hanging on the front. They can see, look at like that other ship that I just mentioned, the Vassar, but more spiky. The dress is sinking to the bottom of the sea, never to be seen again. She's still fed up. He's thinking, I should be married by now. And then Jack's saying, I'm a captain, I can perform a mariage. But she's not interested. Anyway. So there's chemistry. There's chemistry there. And Will thinks that she's in love with Jack later on. Look, you can see there is chemistry there. Look, the black spot's returned. He's got a thumb ring on. I hate thumb rings. Come on, Johnny. Bloody thumb rings, the most stupid thing ever. Anyway. Right, so, where are they? What they're doing, I can't remember. Why? Oh, yes, they're going to the island of crosses or something like Isla Crucia or whatever. Which is where the chest is. They've got to find that. He's using the compass to find it, apparently. Also, where they have the conversation about Kraken and Kraken and. But anyway, right. So they get to this island. It's more like an archipelago, but we just see these sandy beaches and stuff with these bits of grass. But somewhere in here, there's a lot of these forests and stuff. But they're not showing it, are they? Bits of flowers and stuff there. But anyway, whatever, and grass, whatever. Anyway, she's using the compass to try and find the chest. But it's not working. But anyway, Jack finds it. Jack uses the compass, and then we learn that she was sitting on it. So they could dig up the chest. Meanwhile, the Davy Jones is watching them. And they go back under the sea. I like this shot. This is a good shot. It's really well done. It looks very realistic to me as the ship goes under the sea. Under the sea. There it goes. Cool. Make sure we're still going. Yes, we are. Yeah. They see that... the Flying Dutchman was there, so they'll go running off. There you go, they found the chest. Inside the chest, I think these are supposed to be love letters from Davy Jones to, his love. But the chest is in there. Do they open it? I can't remember. They can hear the heart beating inside. I don't think they open it yet. But they're all going to start fighting there. Will's arrived. He jumped off the Flying Dutchman before it went under. So they're all going to start fighting for the chest now. Here we go. So they're going to have I forgot what they call it now. It's got a name as the fight, a summer attoire, not a I forgot what they call it. Anyway, whatever. So they're going to start fighting, and she does some really bad acting here. Look, she goes, this is barbaric, no way for grown men, and really annoying. But anyway, they're fighting away. Mackenzie Crook's explaining what's going on. But they take the chest. They run off with the chest, and she chases after them. So anyway, but they're still fighting. But here come Davy Jones's men. There we go. Look, they run off, and they end up there. How'd they get there? Where was it? Obviously, the camera just never pointed at the rest of the island. But anyway, so they go up this ruin, and that's got a big water wheel and all that stuff. Still fighting up there. Look, it's a massive island all of a sudden. Here. For some reason, this reminds me of Highlander. There we go. That, when Kurgan and Sean Connery. Ramirez are fighting, on the castle thing. It just reminds me of that. But never mind. So they're all fighting away anyway, giving it all that. They're going to end up on this water wheel that's going to disengage itself. Oh, aye. And Jack says the real reason that you're not a Commodore anymore. It's because of Will Turner. And he says, actually, yes, he's right. So he's gonna turn on Will Turner now. So, but he runs off, this Jack, and then falls into a grave. Anyway, right. So here goes the water wheel. So they're doing some nice stunts and stuff. It was actually a real one, 18 feet tall, weighed, I think, about 1.5 tons or something like that. Cool stuff. Jack nearly gets run over, look. Bless him. Bless him. Look, he's got the key, look. They're still running through the forest. She's chasing after them. She realises she hasn't got a sword. She looked nice there. She looks very attractive. But they do have swords, and he does the hello, Poppet from the first film. But then, they're going to start chasing her. But then Davy Jones's crew arrive, start chasing them through the trees. They drop the chest, and I think Jack comes across the chest, I think, in a minute. Because remember, he's got the key. They're fighting, Davy Jones's chaps. Right. Yes. One of Davy Jones's men picks up the chest. He's got like a conch shell for a head. Picks it up and starts running off with it. They're going to show it. Jack Sparrow sees him. There he is, and throws a coconut at him. That's a coconut. The outside of a coconut, by the way. He throws it. Good shot. Hits him. Boing. There we go. Knocks his head off. Don't worry, he's fine. There you go. He's fine. Look. Anyway, so there you go. He opens up the chest with the key, and we can see that the beating heart of Davy Jones is in there. So he takes it out and shoves it in his shirt, and then closes the chest again. So he's running off now. He says, "Where's me dirt? Where's me jar of dirt?" So there you go. So he puts the heart in the jar of dirt. But then they're all still fighting. Jack's going to end up fighting Norrington again, and Will. There they are. It's all still going on. All right, and Jack runs off. You see, he's got something there. Because he found the jar of dirt, and he saw that there was some dirt on the bench of the boat. But then he's stuffing something in his shirt there, and he runs off. We don't see him again for a while now, but they've got the chest. I think Jack and all them, they escape back to the Black Pearl, and the chest ends up back with. He runs off with the chest, and he gives the chest back to Davy Jones's men. So Davy Jones's men think they've got Davy Jones's heart, and then Norrington's run off now. Right, they're back on the Black Pearl. But the Flying Dutchman's arrived. Oh no! And so we're going to have some nice sea battle going on now. But before that, we've got the which were improvised by Johnny Depp. In a minute. He's going to say it now.
Come to negotiate. I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt.
Apparently improvised that. Guess what's inside it? So they're going to start shooting at him now. I think the gunpowder would be a bit damp, wouldn't it? But never mind. So here we go. There we go. Pirating stuff. Yeah, on the Spanish Main and all that. So, but the pearl's too fast for them. When the wind's behind them, the pearl's too fast, so they get away. There you go, she's falling behind. But Davy Jones isn't too bothered because he can set the Kraken after them. But first off, Jack loses his jar of dirt and it smashes, and he goes down. Where's the thump? Where's the heart? So the heart wasn't in there. Do you think Norrington took it, shoved it in his shirt, probably. Anyway, suddenly there's a bump and all that stuff. They think they're on a reef, but it's not a reef. It's the Kraken. Look, oh no, it's getting the black pearl. Crikey Moses. So what they're going to do now? They're going to get all the gunpowder and all the rum, much to all the pirates' chagrin, to try and shoot to blow up the Kraken. Meanwhile, Jack buggers off. Jack Sparrow. He gets in one of the boats and starts rowing for his life. Because he's not around. He's not around. They're going to blow up all the rum. There's Jack, look. Off he goes. She sees him, says, "You coward." Anyway, so there you go. There's the Kraken's getting him. And he gives... Is she a good shot? Will gives Elizabeth a rifle and says, "Don't miss." So is she good? Is she ever fired a rifle? I don't know, but gives her the rifle. Jack checks his compass and it's obviously pointing at the black pearl. So, or somebody that's on the black pearl, don't know, but he goes back. There you go. There they've got all the gunpowder and rum in this net. He's saying, "Don't miss." He's going to, break it all open and all that stuff. But before she has a chance to shoot, the Kraken intervenes and knocks people up and down. Look, she's about to shoot, but she gets grabbed. There we go. In a minute. There you go. There you go. She gets grabbed, and the rifle gets dropped. And she's going to get it, but Jack's back. There you go. Jack's back, and he picks up the rifle and shoots. Here it goes. Boom! And don't blow up the Kraken, but it hurts it. Look, it's all burnt and going, "Arr, you bugger." Anyway, so have we killed it? It says, "No, we've just made it angry." There you go. So it's going to come back now. So he says, "Abandon ship." There's Jack. So they all head to the longboats to get away. But let's see, they're all going. But she goes up to Jack and she gives him a kiss. And Will sees it. He sees her kissing Jack, but he doesn't see what she's doing here. She handcuffs him to the mast. Because remember, she thought he was a coward because she saw him saying, but she says, the Kraken is after Jack. So it'll go for him and let them escape. So it's the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. So anyway, so that's what she's doing. But Will didn't see that bit. He just sees her kissing Jack. So he's obviously thinking she's in love with Jack. Anyway, so off they go. He's trying to get out. Look, bagger, bagger, bagger. But anyway, he sees an oil lamp. So he's going to use that oil to lubricate his hand. But anyway, finally gets away just in time. But here comes the Kraken. And we see its gob. And it roars at him. And remember, his hat, earlier on, we're on that first ship. Remember them two fellas that fished Jack's hat out of the sea? And the Kraken got that ship. So he's going to get his hat back now. I wouldn't be surprised if originally they were going to say his hat is going to be, they're going to be the head of one of those fellas still in the hat, but they don't. It roars at him and covers him in slime, and it's quite disgusting. But then we see, there we go, there's Jack's hat. He goes, "Not so bad." And then he goes, "Oh, my hat." So he puts his hat on and says, "Hello, beastie." And goes, and just, it swallows him up, and it takes down the Black Pearl. But note, the other ship, the first ship, it just disappeared under the waves, didn't it? It just exploded or whatever, I don't know. But the second ship, it like ripped apart, didn't it, as it were going down. It just pulls the pearl, the Black Pearl, under the waves, look. Undamaged, it seems. It just pulls it down under the waves, look. Because it'll be back in the third film. And there's Davy Jones, not Davy Jones from the Monkeys, by the way. It's a different one. That's why it looks different. There we go. "Jack Sparrow, our debt is settled." So there we go. So Jack is no longer in debt to Davy Jones, or is he? But anyway, he must have an inkling that something's amiss. He says, open the chest, and this is where we learn that the chest is empty. They go, damn you, Jack Sparrow! But Jack Sparrow hasn't got the heart. We learn that we're back with Cutler Beckett. We learn that Mr. Norrington has been picked up, and he's arrived. And he had the letters of mark as well, the pardons, and he's showing that he's brought the heart of Davy Jones. There you go, for Cutler Beckett, and he's going to get his commission back, isn't he? Or does he become an admiral? Did they make him Admiral Norrington in the third one? I can't remember. They might do. Anyway, so we're back at Tia Dharma's now. There we go. They're all coming back to they're all sad. By the way, apparently this is based on something else in Disneyland with the fireflies and stuff, but I can't remember what. Is it in the trivia? I've seen it somewhere. I've read it somewhere. I don't know. Can't remember. Yeah, don't know. Anywho, they've arrived back, and so they're all sad, and they're all having a drink in memory of Jack Sparrow, and all saying you were a good man, and all that stuff. And Will says to, because Will, remember, is thinking that Elizabeth's in love with Jack. He says to her, you know, if there anything I could do to bring him back, and then Tia Dharma says, what would you do? What would you be prepared to do? Would you be prepared to, you know, sail to the world's end and all that stuff? The third film's called that, World's End. And they all say, yes, I would. There you go, what would you do? I said, yeah. So they said, yes. So, right. So you've got to prepare to sail to World's End, but you'll need a captain to get you there. And just the man for the job. There you go. You're going to need a captain. And somebody comes down the steps. And apparently, nobody knew who this were going to be in the cast. They'd been told it was going to be Zoe Saldana's character that were in the first film. She didn't return for this because she didn't want to do it. They didn't know it was going to be. And it is... It's Barbossa's back from the dead. And he says... what does he say? Tell me, what's become of my ship? Well, we will listen to his words, because it's the amazing Geoffrey Rush.
So tell me, what's become of my ship?
What's become of my ship? By the way, it's in a film that I'm really looking forward to seeing. There's Geoffrey Rush, John Lithgow in it, and I've forgotten what it's called. It's like setting an old people's home, but there's like all weird kind of supernatural stuff going on. And I forgot what they call it, and I want to see it. I think it's on Shudder. Looks really good. Anyway, looks really good. But anyway, Zago says, tell me what's become of my ship. And then it ends. Oh, well, then he has a good bite of an apple. Because he's not undead anymore, and he can enjoy it. There we hear the proper music. There we go. And that's the end of the film, apart from the end credits bit, which is a bit pointless for this one, really, to be honest. But we get to the end, there we go, and we see we're back with the tribe, and they've made the dog. There you go, they made the dog the chief, so they're going to eat the dog. Don't know. I can't remember. I think the dog gets away, doesn't it? I'm sure we see the dog again in the third one, but I can't remember. I'm sure the dog's fine. But anyway, so that's how that one ends. But yeah, an amazing film. I love this film. Kind of not exactly a trouble production, but it did have its ups and downs. Filmed a lot in the Caribbean, in the Bahamas and places like that, and hurricane season. So obviously they had a lot of bad weather. They had to evacuate at one point. It didn't have a script for a while. They were doing all the pre-production and that, and they knew what the basic story were going to be, I think, but they didn't have scripts, and so they were doing like the pre-production designs for stuff like Davy Jones and the ships and all that, without even a script. But I've got it in my notes somewhere. Where is it? Planning began in June 2004 and production was much larger than Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl. By November, the script was still unfinished, as the writers didn't want Gore Verbinski and Jerry Bruckheimer to compromise what they had written. So Verbinski worked with James Ward Burkitt to storyboard major sequences without need of a script. While Elliot and Rosso wrote a preparatory script for the crew to use before they finished the script they were happy with. So there you go. By January 2005, with rising costs and no script, Disney threatened to cancel the film but changed their minds. The writers would accompany the crew on location, feeling that the lateness of their rewrites would improve the spontaneity of the cast's performances. And it kind of did, because everybody looks to be having a huge amount of fun on this film. The Rule of Jenny Penn. I don't know that one. I don't know that one. Anyway, explain it, Justin. It's gone over my head as that one. Anyway, so there we go. A great film. I love it. I love this film. It's probably my favourite of all the Pirates of the Caribbean films. I love the first one. Third one, not so much. It's alright. Fourth and fifth, whatever. But I think this one's my favourite. I had a huge... Oh, hang on. Oh, is that the name of that film? Rule of Jenny Penn. Yes, I think, yes. The Geoffrey Rush movie, yes. It's not set in Australia, and you've got John Lithgow doing an Australian accent, and he'll be doing an English accent, won't he, in Harry Potter series? But you want to see? Yes, it is that one. I'm going to have to look out for it on Shudder. I'm sure it's on Shudder. I've seen the trailer, and I'm sure it's on Shudder. Anyway. Do love the original 4 Pirates movies. There's 5, isn't there? There's the first 3, and then there's On Stranger Tides and Salazar's Revenge or Dead Men Tell No Tales, wherever, depending where you are in the world. Anyway, do like them all, but I like the first 3 the most. Anywho, so there we go. That's it. But I do love this film. A good old blockbuster. And I hope they're doing another one out. They're trying to get Johnny Depp back out there and Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley. And I hope they do. I hope they get Kevin R. McNally back as well. I hope Mr. Gibbs returns. And obviously Mackenzie Crook and Lee Arenberg want to see them back as well. Well, I do. Right. So we'll leave it there. I wonder if they'll get him back as well. I don't think they'll get Zoe Saldana back, will they? After 4, kind of lost interest. Not as good. Anywho, right, so we'll leave it there. But yes, so go and watch that. Obviously, they're on Disney Plus. If you want to watch them, if you're subscribed to Disney Plus, they're all on there. The Pirates of the Caribbean films, obviously. I think they're also on. I think they're on YouTube. You can rent them on YouTube, and it's probably on Amazon Prime or whatever. I don't know. To buy or rent, but you can get the Blu-rays and DVDs and all that stuff. Right, so we'll leave it there. What's coming up next? What day are we on? Monday. Wednesday is I'll be doing my top 5 favourite films of 1990. Friday, for Friday Night Point with Fear this week, we're doing Rec 3 Genesis. Cool film. Half found footage, and then halfway through, or part of way through the film, it like switches to a traditional narrative. But whatever, that's fine. And next Monday, in memory of Gene Hackman, we're doing Superman the movie. There we go, the extended version. So that's next Monday. Finally in the 90s. Mint. Getting close to when you were born. Getting close to when my son were born. How old I am. My son's probably older than you lot. Anyway, right. So we'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted. I heard my son actually crying out. So I'm going to have to go and check on him. So thanks Justin34 and Wingrace for keeping me company. And also, oh never mind, that's on Twitch. Cheap viewers on stream, boo. Keep getting that message. But anywho, Justin's 42. He's not as old as my son. Anyway, so Right, we will leave it there. So, my age is always full. Yeah, thank you. It is. Hang on, let me get rid of that. Right, so we'll leave it there. So, hang on, let me get sorted. Where's my outro stuff? Where the hell have I put it? There we go. So, thanks for watching, wherever you are. Look after each other, and until next time, I'll say